Morning everybody. So today's mission, I sort of booted it out anyway yesterday. I've still got a grind there underneath of it. The front edge of it, but I'll worry about that later. I'm going to attack this door. This is the only one that I haven't really straightened out properly or stripped out properly. So I'll get it stripped out and I'll straighten the one of the body lines on it, and we'll give her a clean up and get it ready for primer and whatever else. So I'll get into it, and yeah, we'll do an update later on. Cheers. Alrighty guys, so I've got this door stripped out now. I'll just show you. I know it's kind of obvious, like how bent that bottom of that door is. This doesn't quite go all the way across, but I sit down on there, like you see the gap in there. It would probably be worse too if you had it right across. So that's what I'm going to attack first. And this is all I'm going to use. I'm just going to use that, a bit of bar, and then just a hammer, and so we can get this to, like you can see where it's been smashed in, and they've tried to bash it out, but I'll get in there with the jack and see if I can get it down in there far enough, and we'll just push her out, and I'll just go along there with the hammer, and we'll just work it until it stays, and I'll give you a shot when I reckon I've got it pretty straight, and we'll put the bar back on it, and we'll show you the difference. Alrighty, update time again. Now, I don't know how hard or easy this is to see, but I had a real battle with this door. I'm getting there. This here was quite low. The whole door was low through here, and through here. Now I've got this here pretty good. It's a bit up and down, like as in Ripley, but I've got shape that way now, and it's reasonably flat this way. Like the panel itself's probably up and down a little bit. It's still just still a low spot in here. That I might just spend a little bit more time on, and I've still got to get just in through here to come up a little, and the same sand. I've got it up in the centre. I've managed to get that to sort of flatten out, but that's a damn sight better than it was. I was having a real battle. I ended up sending a few messages to Arco at Outlaw Edge, and he gave me a few tips and tricks and a few ideas how to tackle it. In the end, he said actually lie it on the ground up the other way and beat on it, and see if you can get it to try and flatten. And what I ended up doing was I put that bit of timber on the ground and put the worst spot in there, and I beat on it for a while and managed to get it to sort of flatten out a bit. And then I actually put a little bit of heat just in one spot and managed to get it to spring back up. Managed to sort of get it to shrink and pop back up a bit with a bit of work. I ended up standing the door up on its end on the panel stand, and flattening it out with that rough spoon I made in my dolly there in the end, just to try and get everything to sort of just come up to where I wanted it, and eventually come. It's definitely not perfect, but it's a leaps ahead of what it was. So if you put filler on there now, like it's not going to be, you're not going to have to put, like you probably would have to put that much filler in even just to try and make it look half by straight before. But now, like with a wee bit more work, I'm going to have to fill this door, obviously, and probably skim the whole thing. But at least by the time I block it down and find the high spots of what's left, it's not going to take much to bring it right with a bit of filler. It really probably needs another skin, but to try and bring it right, or a bit more expertise than what I've got. But I'm getting it pretty good. I've still got to work this edge and get this line out of here, bring that edge around a little bit, try and see if I can tidy that up. But yeah, we're getting there. But yeah, I had a big battle trying to get it to move in the direction I wanted to, and to stay there. I actually had it at one point where it was flipping and flopping around. You could push it and I go ba-doink, ba-boink. I had the old oil canning thing going, but it's still a little bit, but at least it's not real bad. Like the whole panel was popping in and out there at one point, but I've got it to stay. So anyway, I'll carry on and see if I can get it a bit better and persevere for a bit longer. And yeah, so we're not far away with this one now. We're just final sort of tweaks and bits and pieces to get it right. Alright, cheers. Alright everybody, so update time. So I've got the left front door off now, the one that I did the skin on the bottom the other day. So I'm going to do a wee bit more body work on this and just try and tidy up a few things. And I'm going to make sure the spot on the edge is like nice and straight both ways, like as well as that way. And like all in line all across the door. So I've got to do a little bit of building here with a welder and whatever to get it right. And the other door, I've got it pretty good now, but I'm just actually in the process of stripping the paint off the inside now. To be honest, like, this is probably the easiest way to do the insides of doors and anything like that. Like, the outer panels are easy to sand off or rip off the wire wheel or whatever. Or if you just have one layer of paint on a car, I could say it was just the original factory paint and you wanted to strip it off, well, you just use paint stripper or whatever. But yeah, this is probably the easiest way to do the insides of doors. So I'm just stripping this off now, just trying to get it to clean up. I'm not worried about in here. When I go to do anything with it, I'll just give it a quick scuff. I probably won't blow a lot of painting around there. I might just eventually just blow a bit of, just tape it off once I'm finished painting the car, and I'll just mask it off. I'll just flick a little bit of, just a bit of rattle can, just gloss black or something in there, just to tidy it up. But yeah, like the whole inside of the door will be green, and I'll just come along here and I'll just mask off back in here somewhere and just blow some black in there just to tidy it up so it's not blue. I'm not worried about painting all the full inside of the door. That's just a waste of paint, really. But so yeah, because like that green's not the best cover, so I've discovered. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to get all the paint off the inside of that, and eventually I'll do the same in here. I'll get what I can with a wire wheel or whatever, and the rest I'll just paint with paint stripper and get off. I'll probably do the firewall the same way, because really it's a shit of a place to try and get paint off, because there's just so many bumps and hollows and joins and holes, and if you try and use anything else, you're just gonna it just makes it bloody awkward, to be honest. There's just too many obstacles in the road, so that'll probably get paint stripper as well. And I'll just get a blue tarp or something like that. I'll just rip the steering box out of the road and I'll just lay a blue tarp in there just to protect the bulk of the chassis. And then I'll go over this with a wire wheel the best I can and sandblast it all, and we'll treat the crap out of it so it's nice and hasn't got all this shit on it. If that's as bad as it got in 50 years, it's done 50 odd years, it's done pretty well. So that's where I'm at the moment. So I'll get back to work with this door, And once I sort of get this door cleaned up, then I'll jump on that other one and get that going. And I may even get my partner to but there's not a lot of paint stripper in there. I can't remember, we used paint stripper for something else. I can't remember, but yeah. Anyway, we'll do the door jams and the rest of the doors and that sort of stuff. But I'll probably have to buy another can of that at some point. Probably use paint stripping around here too, but I've got to do some repairs, so we'll worry about that later on. So yeah, we'll get into this door, knock these, so we can get a bit more of this out. Something, tidy this corner up a bit, and all the other little bits and pieces that just need a touch up. Double check that those swages for straightness with me with this. So it's a shame it's not a bit longer, but yeah, they're not too bad. That's the main thing. As long as they're pretty close, like if there's the odd little gap in there, there's probably not a lot you can do about it. You can probably tweak it and tweak it and tweak it as much as you want. But as long as it's not gaps like this, like if you can see daylight and through in the odd little spot. With pie build and a skimmer filler here and there, just to as you've done body work and trying to smooth things out, you're going to get rid of that with block sanding. You're going to clean it up the best you can. So I'll stop crapping on and we'll get into the rest of it and give you another update later on. Cheers. Alright, how you going everybody? So I'm doing this is a bit of an experiment, but that's what I sort of thought of to straighten up the bottom of this door after I put that new skin on it, because I didn't quite have the bend dead perfect all the way along. It was a bit tighter in here and a bit tighter in there for along. So what I did is I clamped this piece of box action on it and lined it up the best I could with most of the door, except where it was in low. And then I sprayed a bit of that weld through primer on, that coppery coloured paint on there. And then I just run along there with the sander along the edge on this, and just where it didn't take the paint off. And fortunately, with being weld through, like you can weld it. Doesn't sort of splatter up like the other paint does. So then I went along and just put a few tacks on it. So now I'm going to go along there with the grinder, and I'm just going to whip along those pieces and just flatten them off and see if I need to put any more on, in places, because it's possibly the odd spot where it's not quite enough, and then I can go back along and just put a little bit more in there if I need to. It's the only real good way I could think of to make it sure it was actually straight, was to put a piece of box section on here that I knew was nice and straight, clamp it on the door, because I've still got to do body work and everything, so it doesn't matter if it's a bit of a pressure mark there. I can work that out later, and just go along there and grind it off and double check to see whether I've got it straight or not, and I'll just keep doing that until I get it right. Like I've never done this before. I've never got to this level and made sure it was straight, and mainly because I've never really done a full bottom of the door. Like I've always put a patch in the corner or something, and it's always been reasonable, but I'm trying to push my level of work up. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. So when I've got a bit more done and happy with it, I'll bring you back and show you. Alrighty, cheers. Wee update, just starting to strip the paint off the firewall. So just put some some paint stripper on there. Not rust converter, jeez. So I'm just letting that all bubble up and starting to fry out. And hopefully we can get this all nice and clean back today. I've done the insides of 2 doors. I've still got to do the other 2, and like the inside of the boot lid and the bonnet and stuff like that. But yeah, so we're getting there slowly, and then once we're done that, we'll start doing around all the door jams and everything as well. Had a messy few days and haven't done much over the last few days, But yeah, we're getting back into it today, so I've got today and tomorrow left before I go back to work. So hopefully we'll get a bit of progress again. Righty guys, cheers. Slowly coming off. That red primer takes some movement that they used way back in the day. Alrighty. How you going, everybody? Looks like a car again. Semi-temporary back together. Just checking everything still fits properly. I've still got a lot of lining up to do properly. Got to do some. Sorry, got to do some tweaks on the bottom of that door again. I'm not happy how it fits at the back where I did that repair. It's sticking out a bit at the bottom, so I've got to do a wee bit of work on that at some point and try and get that to line back up with that bottom edge. I just threw this panel back on here. This is all bent up. I've got to straighten all that out. That's all bent up from when it was originally snotted in the nose and they just screwed it on and bogged it up. So I've got to go through and fix all that up. But everything else looks like it's, from what I've done, just roughly bolting everything here. Like I've still got to do a bit of spacing and all that sort of stuff. It's fitting reasonably well. That door's not on there properly. I didn't realise it was actually sitting so far back when I must have just roughly bolted it on the other day. I should have actually lined it up a bit better before I put the guard on there, but it's still early days and body work yet, but at least most of the wheel work's done. So yeah, it's pretty much what I've been doing the last couple of days. I've just been stripped the firewall down. See if I can lift the bonnet up for you. Yeah. Oh. I'm not going to do with the panel there. It's catching. Let's see if we can lift it up now. Oh, need some springs back in this thing. Man, that's heavy. So I've stripped all the paint off the foil, and I've etch primed it all and all that sort of stuff, so it's all ready to, for a final clean up and a bit of maybe the odd tidy up here and there. We'll more work down that bottom bit on the left hand side of the tunnel there. Just want to sort of try and tidy that up a little bit more, make it look a bit nicer before we paint and everything. But that's basically ready to go. So yeah, we're getting there. So was just checking, make sure everything sort of fits, double check, see where we've got a space and gap and everything, just figure it all out, and I'll start making some notes as I go. Like this guard's probably going to come out. Put a little, maybe the odd packer in here, just push everything out a little bit, let it go a little bit at the back and just push it out a little bit. Just give it a little more space. It's just a bit tight there in places. Spacing on the other side's pretty good. Not really. It is when it's down. I'm pretty happy with that sort of gap down there. So like that really needs to come. This guard needs to come over. Oh, not quite double wood, or not quite what it is again. Just a few bits and pieces like that. Lift that back door up, make sure that's all lining up. That door's generally fitting okay apart from that bottom corner. So yeah, we'll just go through and we'll tweak everything, and I'll make some notes and figure out exactly where everything's got to be. But I've actually bolted that guard on with no shims at all, and it's actually needs to come out a little bit at the bottom, maybe just one shim in the bottom, just like in against the rocker or sill, just to space it out a little bit of tweak at the bottom. I just basically bolted everything on there, sort of roughly lined everything up so I can get a bit of an idea to see what I've got to do. So yeah, the bootlet's only just sitting on there. We just sat it on there to get it out of the road in the meantime. So yeah, because now I've got to go back to work tomorrow. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the progress we've done over the last fortnight. I reckon if I had another week, I'd be getting real close to probably, high building prop, or sort of go through it, rub it all back, just to sort of just clean all this primer off that I've blown on it, just to sort of roughly protect the metal. Rub it back and start, filling and priming and all that sort of stuff, but tidy up on that boot lid just to do like your grind off and all that sort of shit. And then only other thing I'd do is the boot floor, which I was hoping to have done, but it's just a few things come up the end of mid last week and end of last week that I had to sort out, just personal stuff for the family, and I sort of lost 2 or 3 days with doing that. So yeah, but she's good. Like, we're done quite a big chunk of progress. These doors are basically finished for the sort of final hammer and doling, apart from that corner. Like, I don't think I'm going to get. That door probably could be pushed a little bit more at the bottom, at the front and the back of that bottom edge, but I was having a prick of a job trying to get any more out of it. Same with this one, so it's going to be a little bit of filler in there just to try and neaten it up, but it's not going to be bad. The lines on the tops of the doors are pretty good, pretty straight. So that front guard's pretty straight along those edges now, to like over that wheel arch. It's not bad. Maybe a little bit in here still. It's not bad. To like down on that other side. Yeah, hard to tell, it's a little bit less light on this side. I still haven't done any major final hammer and doling on these sides, but it's pretty good. Like, it's only the few bits and pieces I've got to tidy up yet. I know this door's pretty good for damage, apart from there was I think it was a mark in there that I wanted to do something with. Yeah, and then I've still got a little bit of hammering on the back guards, which I want to get done. I'll try and over the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll try and get as much as I can so I can start getting this thing in primer and get the rest of these jams cleaned up and the insides of the doors. Like, these ones here are all but done. Like, they're all back to metal around the main frames. Like, there's still a little bit of paint in spots, but most of it's, I'm almost cleaned up. So this side's sort of more finished. And then it's like stuff like this. I've got to sort that out. I'll slowly work away on the bonnet, and then now that I've sort of got this together and I've got a wee bit more better lined up, I'll want to dig all this stuff out. I want to dig that front bumper out and see what I'm going to do with that, because those oval holes aren't meant to be in it. Somebody's put them in at some point, so I'm contemplating doing a little bit of custom work on that. I'm not sure yet. I'll see, but I'll have a look, see how they fit up, and I think this one's a bit twisted, so I'll try and take the twist out of it. But I might do a little bit of custom work. I might like the bolts that hold everything on, I might actually get rid of them, if you know what I mean. Like on the front, I might actually smooth them all out, sort of like do the old sort of thing, but like what Chip Foos does, where it's actually welds those bolts in from behind and grinds them off and welded everything in. Then I've got to clean up the inner guards, and that's the other old front guards which I I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I might just biff them in the end, but I might just throw them up on Facebook, and I might give them a bit of a bash out and see if somebody wants them. Might be better than, they're not or they're not rotten, should I say, they're just rough. So they would be better than rotten ones. Yeah, and then clean these unguards up and get that sorted out, get them fitting properly. So there's still a bit of work to do. But yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there now. I can sort of see the light at the end of the tunnel for the metal work anyway. We're not far away. It's not much, well, at least there's, apart from that boot floor, which is it's still a fairly heavy job, but all the rest of the welding and all that sort of stuff, apart from maybe just reshape that bottom of that corner a little bit on that door, so it's sort of sticking out a little bit. I think I might need to take a pie slice out of that corner where I built that new corner in it and pull it in a little bit. I reckon even just the cutting wheel thickness will be just enough to bring it in. Somewhere around there, I'm just not 100% sure how or what I'm going to do, but I'll figure it out. I'll work it out. So I got to just bring that corner a little bit. It's just sticking out, just annoying me. Let's see if I can show you a bit better. You might be able to see. It's not bad, but if you can see, it's sort of actually sticking. It's too square. It needs a bit more roll on it. But it'll be where I've replaced that section. It's sort of poking out, so I reckon, I don't know. I've got to get a bit more twist back in that corner to make it sit right. But anyway, I've crapped on for almost 12 minutes, so I'll leave you to it, and I'll get back to you later. Cheers.